Welcome to PING, inside of Roger Dunn Santa Ana. I'm here with Travis Milliman. He is the design engineer for PING. He's the guy who actually creates these things. We're here to give you the best information about PING's brand new G440 driver lineup. We're going to do it in a kind of a neat way. We've got John here, who's going to hit some balls for us and test these things out. We got John to hit his gamer, which is the G440 Max 9 degree. The great news is we can use exactly the same shaft. We spent a bit of time creating some swing weights, so it's going to be apples to apples. We're going to dive in right now and find out what these drivers can do for John and you guys. Tell us a little bit about, we've got the LST model here and the G440. What makes it a bit different and elevated this year?
Yeah, so the LST and the G440 is going to, once again, harness the low spin technology. So differentiate it from the Max and the SFT lines we'll have complementing it. It's going to be our lowest spinning, probably most fade bias driver and the most compact pear-shaped profile. So what we're really trying to do here is give a differentiated fit while still packing a ton of forgiveness.
Yeah, it's tough. When low spin drivers, we know that they kind of sometimes aren't as forgiving,
Yep.
but you guys are known for forgiving.
And I think new on 440 is we've gone a lot heavier in our CG shifter, which has boosted the total MOI of this driver up and keeping us in a very, very competitive landscape.
That sounded really good.
Like that one.
Tell us a little bit about the look, if you can. Any comparisons between your existing gamer and this new 440 LST model?
It's got a really very, very good shape. It sits really wonderful. When you put it on the ground, it just sits beautifully.
Yeah.
So I don't have to make any adjustments when I put the club down. It just sits perfect for me.
Nice.
So it's got a great look to it, great feel.
And that was very, very straight. Nice stuff. RPMs there, 1900. 138 ball speed, so still launching, maybe spinning a little lower than what we would like to see this player spin it at. So hit a couple more for us and let's get 4 or 5. I mean, we got 6 with your gamer, so probably nice to have like for like. And creating low spin here, you get the CG as far forward as possible, as low as possible.
Big philosophy with us is trying to lower the CG as low as we possibly can. But yeah, comparing a Max to an LST, a good way to differentiate the spin is also to move it a little bit more forward, closer to the theoretical force line that we're trying to achieve. So we do that via shaping. So the LST is going to be our most compact, kind of front to back dimension, which drives the CG a little bit more forward than the Max.
Yeah, and that's maybe what you're seeing in that shape.
Correct.
Real tidy. So with this LST, you're aiming this for players that are maybe higher speed, searching to really keep the RPMs down.
Yeah. So obviously with speed, typically comes spin, right? All things being equal. So yeah, it's definitely geared towards that faster player. So we do a lot of the visual shaping. It's more pear-shaped, kind of more aligning with what that player wants to see. We have it, like John was saying, it sits nice and square. If not anything, the LST should sit a little bit more open than the counterpart in the Max, and the SFT is going to be the most closed.
And you do that for maybe those higher speed players having trouble with the left miss. They prefer to see a fade to kind of control that distance.
Correct, yeah. A lot of people these days we're seeing gravitate towards hitting more cuts, especially when they have speed. It's a little easier to control. So yeah, that kind of goes hand in hand with that.
Perfect. Right, I mean, this is the point. I think this is Ping's whole thing. They've always been great at forgiveness, not necessarily considered a long club, and they're bringing the two things together this year. What we've seen there, and we can look at the numbers in isolation, but I like looking at this downrange picture. Exactly what you said about the design features. We saw a little more fade in there. We've seen those lower RPMs. It's probably too low for you, right? So we know this thing is designed to scrub spin and be for that higher speed player. But what we did see is on average, you actually hit this longer than your gamer right now. Right. So it leaves a lot of wiggle room moving up this family of drivers. It's done exactly what it said on the tin. I think it's time to maybe get him into his Max version.
A little bit more spin on that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, great.
As you're snapping it together, tell us a little bit about the Max and what it's designed different to last year.
Yeah, comparing the LST to the Max, so the Max is going to be a little bit bigger in total profile, so front to back dimension than the LST, which does help drive our CG shifter deeper.
Okay.
That adds to the total forgiveness of the club comparative to the LST. So what we're really trying to do, like you said, is try to get more speed. How do we do that? We have a lot of new technologies, free-hosel design, carbon fiber wrap, which both help to lower the CG to help get a more efficient energy transfer when we're hitting it with a golf ball.
And the carbon fiber wrap, that goes all the way around so you can really pull that CG down low.
Yep, we're trying to put that carbon, that composite on there in the most mass efficient way possible. So one piece that wraps from the crown into the skirt is what we found it to be the most efficient way to do that, driving CG down.
And I don't want to get inside your head, John, before we give you this driver, but I want some immediate feedback on the visual compared to your gamer.
It just has such a great square set. When you look at from the shaft to the face, it just sits perfectly on the ground.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're lining up and you don't have to make any adjustments. It just sits perfect.
Perfect. This head shape is a hair different to the 430 Max.
Yep, so we've actually kind of made it a little bit more compact front to back than the 430 Max, which has allowed us to make the curvature on the crown, the curvature on the sole a little bit more rounded. So what we're seeing is a little bit more compact shape, you set it down, but also the sound attenuation. It's going to be a little bit crisper, faster sound at impact.
People think smaller is maybe less forgiving, but you haven't given up any CCs. It's a 460 driver, just in a slightly different package.
Yes, correct, yeah. So we're always trying to maximize anything we are doing. Making it the largest 460 volume is really good for that. So we're trying to lower CG as low as possible to get better ball speed and launch and spin conditions. We also have a spin-sistent face, so it's a curvature on the face that helps control low impact, center impacts, high impacts to have more consistent spin or spin consistency across the face.
Yep. Let's touch on the face. One more thing is the roughness to the face. Does that also control spin?
Yeah, we found the rougher you can make a face within conformance limits, the lower the spin. So obviously we're trying to chase distance and chase optimal launch conditions, and making the face rougher is one way that allows us to do that.
Yeah. So you like seeing that right to left shape,
Yes,
John?
that's what I like to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And then I like talking about this, that head size doesn't feel like it's going to inhibit your ability to do that. People worry about bigger drivers.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Good. I mean, you made the great.
Yeah, I feel like I could play with this today. I mean, it wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. Well, we're going to.
Yeah.
That was awesome numbers. 14 degrees of launch, 140 ball speed with 2100 RPM. Same again. I mean, the spin is in a better area. We're in the 2000 range now, which we know absolutely we need for John. We've set the head up exactly as yours, but there's more wiggle room for us. So the idea today is we're going to get you on the golf course. We're going to put it in a real world situation so the viewers out there can understand what are your gains from last year to this year, from your gamer to the G440.
That'll work.
Really nice. So we've actually seen the dispersion tighten not only from your gamer, but from the LS too. So we'd expect to see this thing straighter, right?
Yeah, we've definitely harnessed the curvature top to bottom, like we talked about. That's what we call spin consistency. We also tailor the curvature heel to toe based on the given model. So the LST, the Max, and the SFT, we designed the curvature in to help complement the type of player who's going to play an LST versus an SFT driver. So that does help tighten the overall downline dispersion.
So John, Travis, I just want to take a couple of seconds here to review these numbers, because I feel like this is going to be the gamer that we take to the golf course, your new gamer. Comparing it to what you walked in the door with, we're really seeing what the engineering's bringing to the table actually turn into numbers. So your existing gamer averaged 139.6 driver ball speed. This last model was 141.3. So we've seen that mile an hour that we should see, and a little more. And then we've seen the launch go from 12.5 degrees up to 13.9 degrees. We talked about that at the end of that last segment there, that higher launch helping you stay in the air, carry it a bit further, whilst keeping the spin down. The spin flatlined. We're talking about 100 RPMs, it's negligible, right? Mm-hmm. The other thing, I don't want to get too sciencey, but really quickly, your standard deviation is a lot tighter between the new model and the old model. And what that means is you're going to see more consistency on the golf course, basically. The lower that is, the tighter the shot window your ball is going through over and over again. And what that is washed out to is a gain of 233 carry on average to 243 on this. So now we know what we're taking to the golf course. We've got 10 yards in the air. We need to take advantage of that out there. Yeah. Jumping into the next driver, and definitely not to be left off the list because this hits a whole lot of people out there, SFT.
SFT, yeah. So the SFT is going to be straight flight. So for someone that wants to hit more of a draw or prevent that right miss for right-handed golfer, it's going to do that. It's going to be a little bit lighter and a little bit more heel bias to help turn the ball over.
Yeah, so we get everything shutting down. This might not be for you, but you're a great candidate because you're such a good ball striker. We're going to set it up in the draw plus position, which is the maximum draw across the family of drivers that we can set up a driver. We want to see it turn over. We're not asking you to turn it over. Let's just try and see what the driver naturally does. You've brought out a 9-degree model.
Yep.
I feel like I know why, but tell us.
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret we've had a lot of new golfers in the game over the last 4 or 5 years, and I think we've seen a lot more speed entering the game. The consistent thing we wanted to deliver was something that is speed focused, someone that needs less loft but still needs to turn the ball over. So we had the 10.5 SFT in the G430 line. We've added the 9 SFT.
Yeah. So this gives a scope of going down with that hosel down to 7.5 degrees and all the way up. You got a whole gamut of loft through raw bias right now. And well, you've done your job, mate. Well done.
It goes left.
Big left. It goes left. And this is what we're saying, you're not the cat that's going to be playing this. The people out there that are really struggling with that slice 10, 20 yards, this is designed to bring them back and find the middle of the fairway.
Right, gotcha.
Excellent. I'm interested to see when we bring the numbers up, the yardage that we're actually seeing difference from the 440 Max to the SFT, because this is really putting your engineering to the test.
It's obviously concerning to see a ball go 41 yards left, but for a lot of people, that 41 yards left would just turn into going straight, right? Yeah. That's the intent, is to deliver that straight flight.
It's a breath of fresh air for people that have been used to seeing it go OB right.
It looks very similar. So I'm not seeing anything. It looks very, very good. It looks like it looks the same as the others.
Awesome.
So that one I hit good. So that was like mine.
The solid shot.
Just a lot more movement.
Distance, no problem. Really good.
Yeah, what's great is it feels like I'm not really turning it over, but it's turning it over.
It's turning over for you, right? And that's really what this is about. It's not having to try, Let it come do it for you. The perfect thing is just looking at the downrange here. We got to look at the numbers all day, but basically that purple collection, pink, whatever that looks like to you, down the left-hand side, it's exactly where that grouping is. And in fairness, we've seen exactly your engineering turn up on the downrange here. LS was for you a little too low spin, had a couple that leaked to the right. The Max has hit your number. We've picked up gains. We're launching it higher, straight down the middle, and SFT down that left side, just maximum draw. Obviously that curvature is going to pull away some distance of you. It's not for you, but it's going to fix that slice out there. So that wraps up the full line. That was SFT. John, you're a Max guy. With the magic off camera, the expertise of an engineer and a fitter, we actually fine-tuned it a little bit. We've put the rear weight in the toe position, trying to increase that forgiveness a little bit for you when you go after it, so you can hit it as hard as possible without worrying about turning it over. Gives you the maximum RPMs without trading off that spinny flight. We've got to get it on golf course and see what you do with it.
Great.
Let's get out there.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay guys, so we're here at Black Gold, hole number 1. It really encompasses everything that we got today. We're bringing the engineering from the fitting bay to the golf course. And on hole 1, this is a kind of a risk reward, but it really is like a dynamic that brings this bunker into play on the left. If you overdraw it, you're going to be in that, right on your yardage from where we're going to tee it up. If we can get those extra 10 that we saw from 430 to 440, you're going to be able to clip this hill and go from a 170-yard shot into a green from elevation down into like a 90-yard wedge shot. So this can really change how you attack the golf course using Travis's technology in the G440.
Oh, really great.
So we're going to get you back up to the tee.
Okay.
We're going to hit your G430, see where we end up. We're expecting it from the numbers that we got in the bay to kind of end up in this area. If you miss hit it, we're going to get in the bunker.
Okay.
G440, all things being equal, 90-yard flick into the green.
Like that.
Ready to do it?
You ready to do it? Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, John, on the tee here, number 1 at Black Gold. We got your gamer, the G430 Max, 9 degree. You want to hit it as far as you can down here. We want a real test. Let's try and get it in the fairway, see if we can squeeze it down the hill.
Okay.
Okay, sounded pretty solid. Holding down that right edge. Carried right around that average, that maybe a hair under the average that we saw in the bay, 227. I think we were 233 in the bay, so not a million miles away. And we definitely didn't get down the hill. So it's time to put Travis's engineering to the test to get the G440 that we fitted in your hands in that golf shaft and get it over that hill, John. Oh, that looks good. High draw. I'll get there. Oh, big bounce. It's hard to tell, but I think that might have actually done it. 236 through the air. So we didn't get all 10, but we got 9 yards extra.
Like
serious engineering there, Travis. How did it feel?
Felt great.
Yeah.
Felt great. That one came off great.
Awesome. Well, the next step here is that we've been in the fitting bay. We've seen the engineering. We've been in the fitting bay. We've taken a look at the golf hole. We've given you a challenge. Let's go and find out if you did it.
Okay, sounds good.
So this is it, real world. And these guys can vouch for me. We didn't make this up. We didn't fudge it. This is the first golf ball. standing here, lasering down to the pin. This is 163 as the crow flies, and then playing downhill 149 yards. What club are you pulling out here?
I pull out probably an 8-iron.
8-iron, okay. Now, this is gonna take a minute. We're gonna walk down to the next ball.
Okay.
Let's go. So the G440 had a bunch more in the tank, 9 yards carry, and in this hole, we took advantage of the hill, and we're all the way down here. And here we are. This is why we didn't fudge it, because if we wanted to, we could have got it all the way down there. All we need to do is hit it 2 or 3 yards left, and we would have taken the full advantage. But you still have 118 as the crow flies, 112 with the elevation. What would you play from here?
54 degree.
So we've gone basically 3 clubs down the bag and changed the shot entirely, changed the chances of you having a birdie putt.
It's fantastic.
With a G440 driver engineered by this man here.
It works.
This is proof that it works.
Yeah, and not many people get to experience this, and this is why this activation is so fun. Hearing the engineering, seeing it in fitting bay and the theory behind it, but actually getting to experience it and understanding how it can change your game on the golf course. It's why these guys do what they do. It's why we do what we do, and hopefully it gives you more enjoyment on the golf course.
Oh wow, I can see the difference.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Awesome. Head to a Worldwide Golf retail location or go to worldwidegolf.com to book your fitting for the PING G440. Take advantage of Travis's engineering, get the results that John got on the golf course. And remember, Worldwide Golf is home of the 90-day, 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.